Howard is a family. No matter if you are an alum from Howard High School, Howard Career Center, or Howard High School of Technology, we are a family. And for many families throughout the city of Wilmington and Newcastle County, there are generations of young people that continue the legacy of attending Howard High School, just like their parents and grandparents, brothers, sisters, and cousins.
I was so enthusiastic about being at that school, being with those teachers because they lived in our neighborhoods and they were also our mentors and our friends. When you look back and you see all the things from segregation that had occurred in the 50s during their time, and yet they were teachers and they had doctorate degrees and things of that nature that you never even expected them to have. So they not only share the importance of education, but also the importance of knowing who you are, as well as their commitment to making sure that you got the best and you were the best.
In 1960, Martin Luther King came to this school. And as far as we know, he gave his only speech in Delaware in his lifetime at this school. One of the things that I most remember that Martin Luther King said, he said, "The arc of history is long, but it bends toward justice." And if you think about the history of this school going back to, I guess, 1867, the arc of history is long, but it does bend toward justice.
When I consider this beautiful edifice today, I think back generations. I think back to what it represents for us as a community, as a state, and even as a country. I mean, the whole focus on education and what education can do in the life of a family and of a people, that's what Howard High School represents.
One of the cornerstones of our entire city, the building blocks of our city, are our schools. And I don't know that any has a more storied career, a greater foundation in the community than Howard High. Back from Lewis Redding, probably one of the very most prominent Delawareans ever, who attended the school, went on to graduate from Harvard Law, and made a career standing up for civil rights in Delaware. That's kind of the soul of this school. And it's something that when you walk in the building, you feel as soon as you get here.
And it's remarkable to see this 1927 building, a building on the National Register of Historic Places, a building that's played such a key role in Delaware's history, in Delaware's march towards justice, and to see it as a state-of-the-art, beautiful, engaging school that's now ready to serve as a platform for learning, to engage and elevate and to educate and to uplift a whole new generation of Delawareans.
Those of us who served in the legislature who supported this project 100% knew that it was a great return on investment. If you're in a good structure, a good facility with strong faculty and a community of support and a board that directs the outcomes for students, they're going to thrive.
The CEO of IBM says that over half of the jobs, over half of the careers that kids entering kindergarten are going to go into one day don't even exist now. Over half of the careers don't even exist now. How do you prepare for that world? How do you build a building to prepare for that world? I don't know if I know, but whoever built this building, they know. This is a building that should make every Delawarean proud.
With this renovation, we have returned to a state-of-the-art situation where they've redone this building with the thought of flexible seating grouping and the equipment that would enable students to have the very finest educational experience. So I found it quite exciting that we're launching this new opening and we're returning to a golden opportunity for students in the Wilmington area.
When you interact with the students here, you really do get to see how up-to-date everything is in terms of the technology that they have to use and some of the methods that the school is using to try to educate them and some of the really cutting-edge programs that we have. So in a lot of ways, that mix of the new and the old in the classrooms reflects a lot of what's going on with the young people who are here.
While we celebrate this beautiful technology and the glorious school that we have, the physical plant that we have, I hope we also keep in mind the men and women over the last, 150 years who've been there for kids for generation after generation, who've been role models, teachers, surrogate parents, who've done just amazing things to prepare one generation after another for not just for careers, but for life.
It has educated, uplifted, and engaged not just the community of the east side of Wilmington, not just historically the African American community of Delaware, but it's also been part of challenging and educating and engaging our whole nation.
The lineage and legacy of Howard High School reaches beyond color, it reaches beyond sex, it reaches beyond every division that the world tries to separate us in. And Howard is one of those families that brings us all together and unites us.
This school represents restoration, and we are at a time in our country where we need to be restored. We need to be healed. And so walking in here, there's a feeling of hopefulness. There's a feeling of possibilities. There's a feeling of the future. And that's what this represents.